All right, Dragon family, it's week 4. And I'm not sure if I stated this to begin with, but there's technically 3 up weeks in terms of building and 1 down week to allow the body to adapt and to rest and consolidate the gains throughout the 3 weeks. It varies. Coming up, I have a couple more events, so it's going to be a little squirrely here. But generally speaking, there's 3 build weeks and one week to adapt. So that being said, I will show you the goal. I don't know if that shows up very well. Let me see. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyways, let me just tell you. The goal of the week was 56 kilometers. I ran 60 and walked 7.5. So, yeah, I killed that goal again. Time, I finished with 1 hour above the 7-hour goal. And elevation was 900 for the week, easy peasy. I did 1200 for the week, and 1070 of that was running. So my body feels great. Truthfully, I haven't been rolling a whole lot. I do have my punching bag up. The bolts are all in it, but yeah, as much of a down week as it was for my body, it was definitely a week of transformation, of transcendence. Let me rephrase, transcend, right there. And thank you, Amy, for pointing that out. I think that might have been today. Today has been a hell of a day. It's Tuesday. I didn't record my video last night because this has been... I think in my first video, I stated that training for ultras there's like a triangle. There's the physical aspect, which is the kind of the tip of the iceberg. Like, everybody sees it, everybody realizes that there's a physical aspect to it. But deep down below, there is the emotional, mental, and even spiritual. I'll make it a square. How about that? It's a square iceberg, maybe like a diamond. Let's say a diamond. I was going to draw a picture here, but I don't really. Okay, let me do that. And I'll just keep on blabbering. So throughout the week, if you watched any of my previous playlists, you'll know that approximately a little over 3 months ago, I quit smoking cannabis cold turkey, just based on the fact that I was sick of what it was making me feel. I was sick of the reasons why I was smoking, and I was just tired of hiding. I was tired of hiding from myself. I was tired of selling myself short. And that's kind of what ultra running introduced to me, is that physically I was selling myself short, and then completing my 100-mile, completing several 50, 60Ks, doing 60K on Saturday, and then a full marathon the next day, and then 100 miles. Like, it showed me that I was selling myself so short in my life in general, and just mentally I wasn't where I wanted to be. And I had this vision, and there was always a bit of a disconnect there. There was always a bit of something wasn't lining up, and smoking weed just helped me kind of, push it away, forget about it, suppress it a bit more. And yeah, that's kind of where my emotional, I wouldn't say breakouts or meltdown. Yeah, it was pretty much a meltdown. I didn't know how to process what was happening. I would smoke a joint and it would just automatically kind of spin me right out. Spin me right round, baby, right round. So hold on here. Let me just trying to orientate this diamond iceberg here. So I should make it's going to be a fat bottom diamond. Don't mind my drawings here. And this one will be spiritual. So yeah, that's why I wanted to stop smoking weed. And throughout there's been more than a few playlists. 28 days, I recorded one every day of quitting it, my process and the journey of that. and then the transition from quitting into more of healing, I would say, really doing some really fucking hard realizations and digging into traumas and emotions and fucking everything that I was hiding from. I basically recorded out there on the internet for everybody to enjoy or whatever. Even if nobody watches it, like it's important for me to actually talk about it. So here's my diamond. Physicals at the top. It's just the tip. Might be a little bit too small in terms of the orange water, but emotional is on the side, which is kind of balances this iceberg, and spiritual is on the other side. And really, these should be kind of linked together. But you know what? And then here's my fat bottom iceberg. So this is the mental. This is the anchor of it all. And this is kind of how I envision it in my mind. It's really proportioned down below. The stuff that you don't see, the stuff that nobody. I don't want to generalize, but a lot of people that get into this sport they crave that, even if they don't know it, they crave that journey into the dark depths that iceberg goes to. And for me, that's oh man, it's been a fucking journey. So where's my notepad? I just wrote on it. My bad. So, anyways, my week in review. So I find my journey now. I know I've identified my traumas. I've identified more or less the areas that I need to shine my light on. And now it is just practicing the skills required to transcend my ego, transcend my subconscious habits, and to really solidify my strength of character, my strength of spirit. And like I've always been, a lot of the times I'd consider myself to be emotionally intelligent, even though I maybe too intelligent in the fact that I was hiding from it all for so long. And I kind of knew that. Maybe that's where the guilt all came from. Maybe that's where all the emotions started to fucking bombard me as I was getting high. Hmm. So yeah, transcending my ego is basically where it's powerful stuff. Like it's to see how it all. Like I feel like I'm repeating myself from my previous playlist, but the thing for me is to see the repetitive patterns going back 20 years. It seems like such a waste of the present moments to keep going back to stuff that doesn't that I know doesn't serve me well. So by transcending the ego, that what I mean by that is to really challenge the conditioned responses. It's essentially fight or flight. Um, like when I was a kid, that I don't want to get too into it, but um, basically it was formed at an early age that I could only depend on myself. I craved affection, I craved attention, and I just didn't get enough of it, I guess, or in the healthiest ways. And I bore a lot of weight of responsibility that wasn't mine. Like I was 5 years old, and I felt responsible that my parents divorced when I was about 2. So I carried that for a long time. And long story short, it really. See, I don't want to get too far into it. Anyway, let me recap my week. So long story short, you cannot hide from yourself in the middle of the night when you're 100 kilometers into an ultra marathon, you still have over a marathon to go, and the person that volunteered to be your pacer doesn't show up. You get to the rendezvous point, and you're alone and you're miserable and you just want to hear somebody's voice, to laugh with somebody's jokes, to see somebody. And you get to this point, it's pitch dark, and all you see or hear is this fucking giant drone. No, all you see is this giant windmill on top of a hill, and all you hear is its drone, like woo, woo. And it was the loneliest fucking feeling I have ever felt. I wasn't even pissed. Like, I felt so, I felt so alone. I felt so judged. Like, why was I not even told that they wouldn't show up? Like, were they just late? So I waited for a bit. I was like, or maybe they were in the car sleeping, but there's not a soul around. Not a soul around. So nothing can prepare you for that. Nothing can prepare you for facing yourself in the darkness with bear shit on the trail. You're by yourself, and you still fucking find a way to want to continue. You find a way that you know what, come hell or high water, you're gonna fucking see this shit through, and to hell with everybody else and what they think. And that is the let's call it the metaphysical side of ultra running. Nothing, you can't really train for that, but you can build the foundation up to appreciate the inner strength that it would take to, oh my god, I can't even do it justice with words. But like, when I think about it, it's powerful. And it took me seeing a crow feather on the path to kind of jog me. I remembered like all the training and all the mental games that I played, and that's where the real work is for me. I'm not going to get crazy distances for running, but like to do this really root work of getting to my mental core, getting fucking in there, nitty gritty, all the stuff that I hid from, and not numbing it by any means. I don't even take ibuprofen, for crying out loud. So to really just feel it, to fucking feel it, metabolize it into growth, into healing, and to find peace, finding my peace. Oh wow, like I don't know if I can honestly say I've ever been peaceful with myself. I've always gotten really high and seemed peaceful, but that was just it was just smoking. It was just smoke. It was just a veil. Like, it was just a curtain. Wow. And while I'm on that, my girlfriend Amy, I think it was yesterday. She said that we were talking about like inner child and the traumas and the healing. But she said my 5-year-old self would be so proud of who I am. Sorry, my inner child would be so proud of who I've become. Um, and that hit me. That really, like, if there was somebody like me in my life when I was a kid, I would find that so inspiring, I guess. And to think that to like look at myself from a kid's version, I'd be like, wow, I grow up to be you. Like, that would fill me with such power to get through. Oh, fuck. It fucking hypes me up, honestly. It would fill me with such power to get through those dark nights where you expect somebody to be there, they're not there, and you have to find something deep within. Like that feeling. That is what I would feel as a child, to be inspired like that, to find that to find the light in the darkness. That's essentially what it is. And no matter what, like, I wouldn't be able to save child me from his traumas or his experiences or his lessons, but I would at least be able to show him that it's all going to be worth it. So that's where my work has been done. For the past like probably 4 months now. Anyways, gosh, I kind of went on a tangent there, but that's the shit it's going to take to finish 200 miles. I think. Um, like I say all the time, I only started running about less than 4 years ago when my father passed. So, and I'll actually touch on that. But let me recap my week here. Tuesday, did 8K with my girlfriend, and around Long Lake. That was pretty straightforward. Only 8K, like la di da. But I wrote on my Strava post, I like to put little tidbits every now and then. And it said, surrender any pretenses of control and dance joyfully in the ultimate human experience. Meaning, embrace mortality, embrace the emotions, embrace the ups and downs as part of the experience, and be the immortal universe experiencing itself through your mortal being, I guess, let's say. So Wednesday, I did a 10K while my girlfriend did her canny hike with her friends and their dogs. So I just ran ahead and did my own thing. And I wrote for this one, uh, if darkness dares enter your path, breathe, dig deep, and use the light within to guide your way. Shine brightly and relate to the world. And I write these things, and it's like what is it like? It's not that I embody them, but it's that I use them to channel like where my direction is taking me. So writing has always been that for me. It's always been kind of the channel with which I take the energy, and then I can kind of make something tangible out of it for me to kind of digest and read, and for others to read, and for it to take power, to take form. That's what creativity is. Um, Thursday I did a 7K, just exploring my neighborhood. I got lost. I tried to put a route on my watch, and I just got turned around. So frustrated because my watch was like delayed or something, and I was just going up the street. No, it beeps on me to go this way, and then it beeps that way. And then I ended up getting to the trail, and I was beyond done. So I just sprinted back. And then Friday we did a 5K shakeout run. My girlfriend and I. She had a race coming up on Saturday, and I was just going to. It was just a nice, easy run around the neighborhood. Um, so Saturday, my girlfriend did a race, and I volunteered as a race official. Really didn't do a whole lot, but I showed up early to help out with the setup and the gate and whatnot. And it was fun. It's always fun to be in that environment and to connect with people and to get out of my comfort zone and to really, um, yeah, just get out of my comfort zone. That's basically all it is. And my girlfriend's so passionate, and her friends are so supportive and also passionate, obviously. Um, and it's fun to support. It's fun to support and support myself in a way, like getting out there and meeting people and spending time with my girlfriend is always special, and she's so passionate about it that I like to be involved as much as possible and to help her friends out. Her friend was the organizer or the director, or probably both. Um, so yeah, after that event, we went our separate ways for a bit as my daughter had a birthday party to go to. So I picked her up from the hockey game, the Mooseheads game, took her to her birthday party, and while she was there, I ran these segments that I used to I ran before and I got number 2 overall on one of them. So this time I set 2 course records for both segments up there, and I was running 3 minutes per kilometer for about 600 meters. So that was super fast. I felt like I was going to die. No, I shouldn't say that. I felt that burning, that where I need that wall to push, and my lungs were definitely clearing stuff out. Like there's a lot of years of smoking stuff built up in these lungs, I tell you. But to run that fast was super awesome. I didn't. I felt like I turned this corner. I was like, man, I don't know if I can do it, but something. I found it. I found it, and I pushed even harder, and I got it. And whoop-de-doo, I can run fast too. I can run far and fast. So, um, and that's basically that. All of the speed training I do, really. I just run long and run slow. But so later that night, I dropped Audrey off to my mom for the night as we had an obligation on Sunday morning. But I did another 10K with my girlfriend as she finished off her 20K of the day. So she had a long run, and bless her heart, she was sick and tired, and I was probably pissing her off that day. It's probably fair to say. No, I should. She'll probably there's always something going on when you're digging so deep. It's going to muddy the waters. So be honest with those around you that love you, and be open, and just that's all I can say. They'll support you in any way they can, but um, yeah, sooner or later you're just going to have to burn it and do the work. But it really helps to have a supportive loved one that is willing to work with you and to share in training and their journey and everything. It's so beautiful. So sorry. So Sunday, my girlfriend and I both volunteered at a Beat Myeloma biking event put on by my friend Justin. He lost his father to myeloma last year, so he's since become a fundraiser organizer for the association. Turns out there was no long riders, so our marshal point was not required, but we still showed up, show our support, and we got to hang out. We got some cool pictures, and the photographer actually really humbled us. Um, well, first she took a picture of us together when she noticed we were at this like eagle's nest, and so she took a couple pictures of us there. And then Amy and I went to the ocean and just to spend a few minutes enjoying the scenery. And we ended up seeing the bikers come by again by the beach, and the photographer was there. And she was like, "There's the lovely couple again." And she said she wanted to take more pictures of us because we were so affectionate, and she could feel the connection. She could feel the love. I forget her exact wording, but Amy and I both, I don't think we stopped smiling after that. Um, it's pretty cool to think that we give off of, and that wasn't the first time that day either. One or two participants at her Canicross event the day prior also commented that they how awesome we are. I'm not going to even dumb it down. Like we're pretty fucking wicked. Um, so we ended up doing 10 kilometers of hill training just to finish off our week of training for our schedules. Just for giggles. Like we were going to do that anyway if the riders were even riding, but they didn't even end up showing up. So we ended up going to the midway point and seeing the riders and the band. And this band, I think they're called the Public Service. They played a song called Head Office, and it struck me and Amy so profoundly. We were both in tears a bit, but for me, it made me appreciate that one day my daughter might be up there singing or memorializing me as her father, And it just really hit home the impermanence of life and the time we have here. And it reminded me of how much power I give to the past. And it humbled me, honestly. It really made me appreciate how much, how far I've come, um, and just the work that I have yet to do. I don't really have work to do. I just have skills to practice and acquire, and I just got to keep on keeping the good steps, the right direction. And this video is getting pretty long, but I will finish up with um, no, you know what? Maybe I'll leave it at that. Um, I'll leave that for next week. But it involves my childhood trauma and addressing it to my father, who also passed 2019. And I went back to visit him, and we had a good chat. So I'll leave that for next week. It's a long video as it is, but I think I covered it. I didn't have a quote prepared or anything, but um, I got a quote. It's more of a mantra now, actually. What's the goal? What's the goal? Let me write that down. What's the goal? Just so you can see it here. I'll just touch on that briefly as we wind this video down. So what this means is, with your thoughts, with your actions, with your words. This is how I challenge my ego now. It's a new skill that I'm practicing. When my thoughts run away on me, I'm like, okay, well, what's the goal of thinking this? What's the goal? If I say this, what is the goal that I want to achieve? And if it's not good, then I probably shouldn't do it. But if it's to promote peace, if it's promote love, to spread light, then yeah, then that's a green light. But what's the goal? What is the goal? So physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, what's the goal? If you ask yourself that, check in with yourself. Last night I didn't do it because I only slept 3 hours, but you know what? This process isn't easy. But today was a great day. Honestly, I showed up to work, was effective. I was in good spirits for 95% of the day. But what's the goal? I listened a lot more to relaxing music, no words, no lyrics, just kind of ambient music. And it helps. It honestly really helps to not be so focused in and active on studying or trying to understand, but just being silent and peaceful. And silent is not being quiet. Being quiet is just not saying anything while your mind is racing, but silence is peace. Silence is sitting with your mind and checking in. Like, if your thought pops up, well, what's the goal of thinking that? Where is this going to lead? Or if you feel the impulse to pick up your phone and message somebody, well, what's the goal? Like, why are you going to not disturb somebody, but why are you going to bring somebody's attention to what you were about to say? Like, what is the intention on that? And if it's not healthy, if it's not peaceful, then you probably shouldn't do it. So that's where we're at. Week 4 is done. This is a half hour long, and my girlfriend's probably waiting for me to go for a run now, but I'm going to finish it off. Peace, love, and clarity as always, 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 always. And ask yourself, what's the goal? My goal this week is to be peaceful. Is that how I usually end these things? I don't know. Peace, love, and clarity. You'll see you next week.